Servus from a tiny city in the southern part of Germany. You might have heard of the city name Rosenheim. And now I'm here to explore this teeny tiny Roman city of Rosenheim. Join me. Welcome to Rosenheim. Well, what is going on here? There's nothing much going on, but it seems like everybody is preparing for Halloween. There seems to be a lot of people walking on the street, but I've noticed that after 5 minutes being in the city, there are a lot of shopping centers here. This in front of me is a university, Volkshochschule. One of the things that Rosenheim is known for is the universities, because I once applied for a university here. It's a technical university, but I was not accepted. So now, after not being accepted for the university, I am coming here to just explore the city. I mean, the buildings are much different from the other parts of Germany. For example, you go to Munich or whatnot, you will see that it's here, I think, because it's closer to Austria. So the buildings are sort of similar to the one in Austria. Hello.
Can I be YouTube video?
Yes.
Hello guys.
Hallo.
Wie heißt euer YouTube-Kanal?
Willst du sehen?
Ja. Kannst du dann den Teil machen, wo wir da drauf sind?
Ja.
Oh, geil.
Okay, hier.
Warte, ich mache schnell Foto. Aber schick mir dann Bild. Ja, nein, bitte.
Willst du sehen?
Danke.
Okay.
Thank you. Ciao.
Schönen Tag.
From YouTube.
I'm quite famous now. There are kids coming to ask for my YouTube channel. Let's see. Here in Rosenheim. Okay, there's not much going on here, and we are on the way to go to a place called Inn. It is where the river called Inn that goes from Germany, Austria to the down south, and then the other river called Mangfall. These two rivers meet each other there, so the adjacent of two rivers are here. And right now we are going to see, I don't know who is this, but it seems to be, okay, this is the guy from 1866. Guys, if you guys know, please leave in the comments who this guy is. And behind this is a cemetery here in Rosenheim. Oops. Okay. Actually, I wanted to touch him. Maybe he's afraid of me because he has rabies. Who knows? And this is another, perhaps a memorial. I don't know. Well, there are a lot of things that I do not know here. But it seems like it's carved in a figure of a woman crying. This here in Rosenheim. I feel like I'm in somebody's backyard or even front yard. There's a church here. I'm not sure whether it's a church or it's a chapel. It's a cathedral, and that way is the way that people here go to the cemetery. Guys, if you guys know what this statue is about, please let me know in the comment section below, and I will make another video, or I will come again to visit and make another video about the place. Who knows? Well, this is a local brewery, and at the same time there's a space inside where you can have some fun, party. It looks like a club or something like that, but I think this is maybe a brewery and also a beer garden at the same time. Oh, there's another church right there. There's another church right there. As you can see, the cross. We will probably go there later. Rosenheim. So Rosenheim was one of the important cities in the Roman times. We're talking about in 480s, when Roman Empire was still around. So they use Rosenheim as a road, you know, because of the rivers. Wherever there's a river, there's water, there is a civilization. As you can see in Egypt, the Niles, in a lot of places. And in America, you have all of these beautiful rivers. In Asia, you have, let's say in China, you have Yangtze, the Yellow River. In Southeast Asia, we had Mekong River. There was a great civilization going on. Siem Reap, as you know right now, what we have, Angkor Wat, which is quite close to Mekong River, and there are people living alongside the river. And a lot of cities decide to put their cities close to the rivers because, you know, the rivers and water is important. So this is the aerial view of Rosenheim on this board in one picture. Look at this. So this is the history of the Spring Festival in Rosenheim. So it started in 1861, not long ago here. But then they also talk about, you know, they talk about the history of the cholera and corona and all of this. So despite the diseases that happened in the 1800s, there were also this kind of events still happening. So disease cannot stop people from being happy. So this is what it looks like. And then this is the history of the Spring Festival. All right, let's go. And this is a museum, a Lego museum. Okay, I see something here. Stadt Rosenheim, Ichikawa Platz, Watashi no Peto something. I cannot read kanji, but there we go. There's also German here. It gespendet. So this is a donation. I think they sort of have a Japanese community here. It says Nihon Tono something, and then there goes Shiteko no wa. Why don't they write it in hiragana so that I can also understand it? Kuno, no. There's a lot of Japan. Nihon, something. Well, I should probably improve my Japanese language. All this looks like a playground. There's a sign here, because normally people are crazy with this thing sometimes. Sometimes, you know, people just come and put padlocks in that. What's the reason? I think it ruins just the beauty of the bridge. That happens. And the kids coming with the parents, of course. And what is this? What does this symbolize? Guys, there are a lot of things that I do not know about this. There are statues, there are memorials. Guys, this is where the magic happens. Look at this. This is called Innspitz. Look at this. From that side of the river, it's called Inn. And this side of the river, this is called Mangfall. So back in the day, people would use these rivers to transport salt. Salt was very important. They traded the salt. They went to war with each other because of the salt. Not just the salt, but this is one of the rivers that built wealth, empires across Europe. You know, you have over here, you have Danube. Somewhere here, maybe this water just flows to Danube. That goes all the way to Hungary, and this might also connect with, I don't know exactly the geographical location of this river. Where does it flow to? And maybe later on it goes to Black Sea, and some of the more places. So Danube, maybe this also goes to, or maybe Isar River also flows across this. And a lot of places in Europe, not just in Europe as I mentioned, in other places as well, river just connect life, all sorts of life. You can see civilization. And if you see my previous video, I also talk about a castle called Burghausen, and that's also where salt was transported through river. People traded back in the day, like the Austrians traded with the Romans, because like Germany was still a country before 1871. And in Lüneburg, and you know, all of these beautiful places just connect with one another, and then they form a league, they form a community. They give names to their community. For example, Hanseatic community, and somewhere here they call their own community, something like that too. And here, this is the riverbank. Let's go and taste what it feels like to be next to a civilization that once a civilization of Europe. What? They have a palm tree here? Why would you put a palm tree on a pot? It deserves to be on the ground. You know, palm tree takes years to yield. Actually, in Cambodian civilization, we had a lot to do with palm trees. We take it for sugar, we take it for a lot of other things. You know, the juice, the palm juice, can be sugars, can also be we made it to alcohol as well. So you have like this drink that you put with something, like with some substance, and then it becomes alcohol. And it tastes so good. Look, the color is also different. I'm not sure if you can see, but on the Mangfall, which is this side, the water is quite green. Look at this. But that on the other side of the river, it's kind of like not so green, but this is dark green, and then the other side is quite clearer than this one. Wow, oh, it's cold. In winter, this river will freeze. Oh, I don't know that. I've seen that somewhere. Anyway, there's no politics on this channel. I just read that thing. So let's go, and we'll see each other in the next place. This is one of the places that I plan to visit. There are not many places that I can do at this time because it's already late. I came here like at 3 p.m. and get here by 4-ish. And this is what fall looks like in Europe. Maybe in other places that is also cold. As someone from Southeast Asia, I can rarely see this kind of beauty of fall, the season. Servus, wissen Sie, worum geht es?
Warum das da steht?
Ja,
Zum Klettern.
Klettern. Oh, das,
Klettergerüst für Kinder.
für Kinder. Okay. Okay, ich glaube, das denkt man oder so nicht.
Ja,
Okay.
Kunst, ne?
Ja. Danke.
Bitte.
Right, I was wrong. I thought this is kind of symbolic thing, but it's not. This is for kids to climb. I talked with a beautiful lady behind me, and she was so happy to tell me that this is not what I thought. And the people here are so friendly though, at least compared to most places that I've gone to. This is what it looks like under the sea. And this is another river. It looks like this one is a detour of the Mangfall, because look at this, it is smaller. Look, oh, the water here is clearer. So this goes all the way to the other section, and then they built, it looks like a waterfall, a stepful waterfall to just flow onto the side. And why do these people just litter here? This is money. This is money. Why do you throw that away here? There she is, the lady that I talked with. Maybe she's in her, I don't know, maybe in 60s. She was so friendly. And this is what it looks like here from the other side of this park. Of course, kids are playing. And as a rule of thumb, it's quite hard to show kids on my channel, and not just my channel, but also other channels, because you cannot monetize it later on. Apparently, there is a museum of the Inn River. The watercolor is different from that side. So here they have their own communities here. So biking communities. They have a joint biking community with Austria, Germany, and Switzerland. And then they've got here Bavaria network for bikers. And then this one, they have bicycle around Rosenheim. And I don't know what this is. And also that is, what is that? Well, this looks like an old lawnmower. Yeah, lawnmower. Why these lawnmowers are here? Whoosh. Oh. So this is an innovation of, I don't know, maybe Germany. I believe this is a lawnmower. It does not look like a boat motor, but it's a lawnmower. I'm convinced. From there you could still see boats. From here, horses. Horses also play a huge role in human civilization. They use horses for war. They use horses for transportation. People with spears and swords and on horses. Why am I talking about this now? There are several Chinese movies that I like The Romance of the Three Kingdoms. My favorite one is probably Zhuge Liang. Okay, we're reaching the museum. And this guy, who is this? I don't know. Schlossberg. Ah, there is a castle on the mountain. Should I go there? Perhaps not. It's quite far and there's no bus. Like from here you can see all other cities. Maybe some of those cities are close to Austria on the left side. As you can see, Traunstein, Wasserburg, Bad Endorf. And then on the right side you see, maybe in Switzerland, I have no idea, Nussdorf am Inn, Frasdorf, Rodorf, Lauterbach is the mountain range. This is a part of their culture, why the Austrians and the Swiss are so good at climbing mountains. And there's a saying, I don't remember the saying, but the Swiss are good with mountains. The Dutch are good with water because the country is sinking. I remember watching some documentaries about the American climbing gears and, you know, mountains, equipments and those kind of things that were developed by the Swiss in Canada and all of these beautiful places. So Swiss are good with the mountains, Dutch are good with water.